You'd be nervous if you were the 2021 Formula 1 season right now. Against all the odds, the 2020 season was an absolute banger, filled with soap opera levels of drama, first-time winners, big driver moves, and unlikely podium finishers. It's a big act to follow for 2021, but the excitement levels will certainly be helped along by the rivalries set out to play on track across a 23-race calendar. So from Lewis Hamilton vs Max Verstappen to Mick Schumacher vs Nikita Mazepin, here are the 7 key fights to keep an eye on this year. Verstappen managed to perform a kind of F1 alchemy in 2020, turning a Red Bull RB16 that clearly wasn't quite on the level of Mercedes' W11 into a multiple race-winning car, and one that occasionally had the Mercedes driver sweating. What we saw precious little of, however, was Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton really going toe-to-toe in 2020, with the W11's baked-in superiority often enough to waft the now 7-time world champion just out of the Dutchman's reach, meaning Hamilton ended the season with 11 wins to Verstappen's 2. But with the year of development of the RB16 chassis that will be carried through into 2021, a new Honda power unit, plus the arrival of Sergio Perez at Red Bull to provide valuable support, both F1 fans and Verstappen himself will be hoping that everything's finally in place for a real Hamilton-toppling title challenge this year. A left field won this, considering they'll most likely be at polar opposite ends of the grid this year, but all eyes will be on the relative performances of Valtteri Bottas and George Russell in 2021. With Bottas set to start his 5th season with the Silver Arrows, the Finn will now know that his performances in 2021 need to kick on another step if he's to seriously challenge Hamilton for the title, with Bottas having fallen a full 124 points short in 2020, the equivalent of nearly 5 race wins. Then there's Russell, who was nothing short of sublime on his surprise first outing for Mercedes as Sakir last year, and who has clearly shown that he's as deserving of a place with the top F1 team as any driver. This then will be a critical season for both Bottas and Russell, when whichever driver comes out on top, relatively speaking, might be the one booking themselves a berth at Mercedes for 2022. Ever since Daniel Ricciardo left Red Bull at the end of 2018, Max Verstappen has enjoyed 2 years of trouble-free motoring when it came to the question of being challenged by his teammates Alex Albon and Pierre Gasly. But that comfortable status quo could change in 2021 when Verstappen is joined at Red Bull by Sergio Perez. Where Albon and Gasly were still getting up to speed with life as Formula 1 drivers, a task not made easy by Red Bull's recent run of cottage machines, Perez is an old hand. With 2021 marking his 11th year in the sport, he's also now a race winner. The Mexican has already come out with some bold statements about pushing the team forward this season, but having enjoyed an infamously fraught relationship with a hard-charging Esteban Ocon at Force India in 2017 and 2018, will the Perez and Verstappen lineup go the same way, or will it help the Bulls to finally take the fight to Mercedes weekend in and weekend out? Things changed quickly in F1. At the start of 2019, people were asking whether Charles Leclerc would cope with the pressure of Ferrari. At the start of 2020, people were asking whether Sebastian Vettel could cope with the pressure of Charles Leclerc, and then Ferrari decided not to renew the 4-time world champion's contract. Yes, Leclerc is now the de facto Ferrari team leader, having seen off Vettel in the space of just a season, but the tables will turn on the Monegasque in 2021 when Ferrari welcomed Carlos Sainz into the fold. Having looked in danger of becoming an F1 journeyman a few years ago, Sainz went through something of a renaissance with McLaren in 2019 and 2020, emerging as one of the grid's most ruthlessly consistent performers. And having now built himself a glinting reputation, Sainz will be determined not to be cast in the role of Ferrari number 2. The question is, will Sainz's desire for parity with Leclerc lead Ferrari down a rocky road in 2021? Let me know in the comment section below. Alpine, the F1 team formerly known as Renault, revealed a lineup for 2021 that, while being very strong on paper, does also have potential for fireworks. Two-time champion Fernando Alonso is back at the Enstone team for a 3rd time and presumably keen to remake the squad in his own image after 2 years out of the sport. Esteban Ocon, meanwhile, enjoyed an up-and-down return to Formula 1 in 2020, the Frenchman by and large outgunned by Daniel Ricciardo at Renault across the season before hitting his stride late on. The dynamic of Alpine, Aston Martin, McLaren and Ferrari, 2 of whom have rebranded for 2021 and 3 of whom are former Constructors' Champions, is a fascinating one, with all 4 intent on becoming race winners in the not too distant. McLaren will have a new Mercedes engine to help them out, plus the arrival of Daniel Ricciardo and the wind in their sails after claiming P3 in the Constructors last year. Alpine have the backing of Group Renault and a new chief, as well as the driving talents of Fernando Alonso. The ambitious Aston Martin team will have a 4-time world champion in Sebastian Vettel, keen to rehabilitate himself after trying a few years at Ferrari, and Ferrari themselves have that crack young lineup plus the infrastructure to put things right after a poor 2020 season. That's likely to make for an even harder battle in 2021 and perhaps a few surprise results as well. A need both for change and an influx of funding for 2021 has pushed Haas down a bold route, with the team set to field not 1 but 2 rookies, namely Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. Both drivers have race-winning credentials in Formula 2, with Schumacher having claimed last year's championship, while Mazepin took 2 wins en route to 5th in the standings. Both will have points to prove in 2021 too. Schumacher will want to show that he is deserving of a spot on the grid, independent of the fact that his father is 7-time world champion Michael Schumacher. Mazepin meanwhile will want to prove himself that he's more than just a pace driver, as well as looking to make amends early doors after Haas were forced to issue an apology of a video posted on Mazepin's social media a mere 9 days after announcing that the Russian had joined the team. Haas will be benefiting from increased cooperation between themselves and Ferrari this year, but which of their 2 rookies can put that Scuderia support to best use on the track after the team claimed just 3 points in 2020? And that's been it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. Apart from that, I hope you're an awesome day, and bye bye.